Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in on the MJ sector. So a little bit of a mixed day with green and red out there. The market as a whole had a bullish day today. The 4-hour time frames have had clarity in the markets, in the tech sector, in the financial sector, in the S&P 500, and on a lot of these MJ names as well. We're going to be watching CGC's 4-hour time frame and a few others from here for clarity. The only downside right now for CGC, you show me this chart by itself and I say, that looks just fine. It's doing its own thing. Tightening range. We're going to look for a break of this tightening range sometime in the next 2 days. But then you show me what the S&P 500 has done and is doing after hours thanks to Amazon earnings. And I know CGC is lagging behind the S&P 500 right now. And it's one of those scenarios where we were stronger initially on the move up because of the upgrade on BMO. And at this point, we're slowing down a little bit. And again, just as a comparison, here's what SPY is doing after hours, 4-hour, changing the trend here. Still a little bit of a ways to get back to where we came from. I'm just going to be watching CGC's ranges on its own. 2306 and 2448 is the range to be watching. We are currently 54 cents above support. And the last thing the bulls want to see is a failure to break that level and then a break of support, because that means we're looking back down to 2134 at that point. We did get some news today that Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the province will soon have more legal pot stores than the rest of the country combined. So a lot of you know that Mr. Ford has been dragging his feet as far as getting legalization and accessibility to cannabis underway. So that's a little bit of bullish news to know more stores are coming, which means better numbers and better access to population. But that's not really a here and now title, or I should say headline, as far as getting a reaction. Sure, a short-term reaction, but we know it's going to take a while for that to roll out and for it to actually show up as having a meaning on the bottom lines in these earnings reports. So CGC 4-hour time frame, APHA dropped down to a lower low. We still have not bottomed out yet. Every day is still a lower day on APHA. Getting close to the area around 452 to make a play off of that support. Here's the 2-day time frame. Looking for a higher low compared to it. And then we'll just look for a lower high. But again, it is still one of the weakest major Canadian MJ names that we watch. ACB starting to get my attention. Keep an eye out for this shift here. And more so than I've been interested in ACB in a long time. If we break 203, we have a 4-hour trend change. And just like that, we're going to be looking back up at 232. It'll still be a ways away. But again, look at the 2-day time frame. Just to condense things down a little bit. And it's our low, high, higher low is trying to form here. And if we break 202, it'll be much more convincing the higher low is set. And the bulls will then try and break 232 for a notable momentum shift that we've seen on other names like Cron, like CGC, that we have not seen on ACB. So getting my attention here, 183 would be a key short-term level that the bulls need to hold from here on out. Cron 4-hour time frame, low, high, higher low trying to be set here at 726, and the bulls need to see a break of 785 to confirm this 4-hour trend change. Entirely possible we don't see these breaks on CGC and Cron tomorrow, and we might have to wait till early next week. So a little trend change attempt with a higher low, have to break that level for the higher high. You can see it on both the daily and the 4-hour time frame. Time for the bulls to show up. TLRY. Same thing, 4-hour chart, higher low is established. Need to see a break of 1969 for that bull break and follow through. Hexo, building a base down around 125. We did break it by 1 penny. No bear follow through, but no bull follow through on anything either. Lower high every day. And as long as that lower high everyday pattern is intact, the bears have control. Look for that pattern to break to indicate the bounce is underway, to look for the daily lower high to be a result from there. OGI, 4-hour trying to change its trend. Have to hold 246 and break 283 to do so. And again, very similar to, who did we just look at? TLRY, in terms of this consolidation and attempt to shift the short-term momentum back towards the bulls a bit. VFF doing the same, or attempting to do the same. There's our higher low. Here's the 4 hour. Bulls need to see the break of 580. 4 hour for clarity on so many individual names. Not a coincidence that it's happening in the markets and in the sector at the same time. Labs is still all bear, close at the low of the day. 297 still holding, but we're on the verge of breaking it. Again, after 297, we're looking down at 292 and then 260. A lack of support immediately nearby. Bears still in complete control with the hourly downtrend. Sense that bad news. VLNS needs that 4 hour higher low. It's less convincingly set than on most of the other names we looked at. Have to hold 331 and then break 376 to change that trend and change this momentum. So again, we compare that to OGI and we compare that to TLRY. TLRY, I would say, is more bullish because it has a higher close. Same setup, but TLRY closed at the high of the day, while VLNS is closing near the low of the day. So all these little similarities, when we're comparing names to each other, the broader setups are the same, but the details are the differences. IIPR, continuation today, but a bearish reversal candle. Maybe time for some consolidation. You could say the hourly uptrend was lost when 92.94 broke, and it hasn't broken yet. So never mind. But if 92.94 breaks, the hourly uptrend is lost, which means zoom out and look for a daily higher low to form, and we can be confident in that daily higher low due to the size of the bull move and due to the fact that after a size of a bull move that big, you know there's people that are going to be looking to get in on that daily higher low. Curaleaf, huge day today. Plenty of space now for the bulls. This is an ideal scenario right now where even if we fail 992, we know the bulls have tons of space for a daily higher low to form. So the hourly uptrend is our guide. We have not formed an hourly higher low today. So if we fail 992, we're just going to be looking for an hourly higher low. But again, worst case scenario is a tightening daily range, in my opinion, unless we get some surprise news. So worst case scenario would be something like this. Best case scenario, just a bull move to a higher high. One day can make all the difference in the world. The past 3-day bounce was nice. It created nice space, but completely shifts things and gives bulls way more confidence to add that day on top of it. CWeb, 4 hour time frame as well. Looks very similar to VLNS here. Have to set the higher low and then break 1089 to change this 4 hour trend, but we closed at the low. No sign of the 4 hour higher low being set. TRUL, all I care about in the short term is this range right here from the last 6 days. 14 support and 1494 resistance. If we break 1494, we look to 1549. If we break 14, we look down to 1292. So just the 6-day range to be watching. CL, not doing anything. Does look like a bit of a falling wedge at this point. Bear breaks getting no follow through. So if I were going to draw this on the 4 hour time frame as a falling wedge, I'd be looking at something. Probably don't like it on the 4 hour chart. Not enough details. Yeah, I don't like it on the 4 hour chart. The bottom line is whenever I see a bear break with a lower low and no follow through, it means scout for a shift in momentum. So this morning we broke a couple supports. 791 is still holding. And for the bulls to shift momentum, we have to hold 791, break 815, and that would be the start of the shift. But it is doing its own thing, not similar to any other names on the 4 hour time frame. IAN, nice recovery after a weak start to the day. 4 hour trend change attempt. Higher low. Bulls have to break 199. We'll call it too psychological to change the 4 hour trend. GTII, all I care about here is the 4-day range. The low and a double bottom and that high. So here it is on the 4 hour chart. Low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low. Nice little 4 hour equilibrium, which is going to determine if this consolidation remains healthy or if more of a pullback is coming. And Harv with a nice solid day as well. 4 hour trend has changed. Actually, I take that back. 396 has to break. Haven't broken it yet. It's a double top. Looking good. Again, compared to other names, we have names that were closing at their low today. Not the case for Harv. They want a nice convincing break of $4 tomorrow to try and get some of this follow through. So overall, 4-hour time frames for clarity. The Canadian MJ names have their own little setups. Some individual names have their own little 4-day patterns we're watching. And big picture, nice to see the market bulls not dumping to lower lows, keeping weekly uptrends, and keeping the bulls in control. As long as the S&P 500 is in a weekly uptrend, we're going to be looking at strength. So we have the primaries coming up. I think I mentioned it in the last video, but just be aware that what I'm going to be doing is watching very close. I'm not going to be making any plays based on primary results as far as trading goes, but I'm going to be watching very closely. You know, if Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren wins Iowa, then I'm going to be watching to see, do the USMJ names go green the day after that in response? It's still a long way out. The closer we get, the more data we get, the more polls we get, the more results we get, the more the market is going to be able to accurately price in what is going to be anticipated election 2020. As far as a short-term catalyst for this sector, short-term huge catalyst for this sector, that's what all eyes are on right now, in my opinion. And otherwise, it's going to require a lot more patience if we were to see someone like Biden get elected or someone like Trump get reelected. In my opinion, I don't think that would give us any kind of catalyst. We're going to have to see some new blood for high hopes in the MJ sector in the short term as far as U.S. legal changes. Hope you're well. Do a good thing or two.